Hello, 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 and welcome to Pake News Now. I'm JB. Let's pause the sound, the music, the background music, or we could keep it playing. Should we keep it playing? Yeah. All right. Hello, hello. Good evening, and it's Friday, the 22nd of January, 2021, and it's our third show of taking calls, and we might be changing the schedule come February. No, I think we will be changing schedule come February, especially when I'm very busy Friday nights with something else. So we might have taking calls every Sunday before I sleep because Mondays will be working days for me. I'll be going to work in Makati. And so for those who are in Makati, I will be around. I don't know if I'll be shooting anything outside. I'm planning to. Are there any titas, real titas in Makati? So we'll have that. Okay, so before we go into some of the stories that um, have been circulating in the news this week, you can chat me up in YouTube, and I won't be able to read. Will I be able to read? Let's see. I mean, any comments in our Facebook page. I have to go there first. Yeah, just comment on the last post that I did. We're going to go live um, in 12 minutes. That was, I think, the last post that I did in Pake News Now. Hmm. What's happening? Hello, concurrent viewers. Uh, hey, I'll check it out later. So, one of the biggest stories is, of course, the inauguration of the United States' new president, Joseph Biden, and Trump left the White House. So, um, minus the people watching live, they replaced. Well, they filled the front of where they had the inauguration with flags. So, dami-dami. And then Lady Gaga performed, Jennifer Lopez performed in the evening. Katy Perry performed fireworks. That was a nice graphic behind her. She was singing, and fireworks were going off behind her, and both the presidential couple and the vice president and the second gentleman were watching uh, from separate vantage points. So that was one of the uh, big stories in global news, no? Here naman in the Philippines, ano, puro pagtatakip. Everyone's trying to um, everyone's saying, well, I've been seeing a lot of comments that these different news items are taking away the spotlight from what we should be and the government should be focusing on, which is the how to handle the pandemic better, how to uh, get the vaccines uh, in the in the system of the Filipino people who needs to get vaccinated. So how paano pero ang daming other issues clouding everything else. So we'll go through some of them. So before we go into a couple of vaccine related news items. So earlier in the week, this was the uh, big news item, yung and may mga rally pang nangyari ata sa UP, University of the Philippines, to protest yung pag-terminate ng Department of National Defense sa UP-DND Accord. So I wasn't really familiar with this accord myself, but I just had to Google it. So let's Google it right now. UP DND Accord. So when I first researched it, so maybe I can open this one. So it was ratified, or it was put in place in 1989 after actually there was an earlier accord between someone else. The agreement between UP and DND was inked on June 30, 1989 between UP President Jose Abueva and then Defense Chief Fidel Ramos. 1989, si Cory Aquino na yung president nun. An earlier agreement in 1982, so si Marcos pa yung president before the People Power, known as the Soto-Enrile Accord, SOTO, was signed between student leader Sonia Soto and then Defense Minister Juan Ponce Enrile, who is still alive today. The agreement prohibits members of the police or military from entering UP campuses except in cases of hot pursuit and similar occasions of emergency. So that's logical, reasonable, it makes sense. UP professor and journalist Danilo Arao recounted the abduction of Donato Continente, then staff of the Philippine Collegian, who was tortured and forced to confess to the murder of an American soldier. So I did not research na what happened to that case, no. Nakalagay kasi tortured and forced to confess. So I would assume na si Continente did not do it, but he was just forced to admit to it. So ayun. So parang it was a surprise or biglaan na lang na si Lorenzana, who is the DND secretary, Delphine Lorenzana, sent the letter to UP President Danilo Concepcion to notify its unilateral termination. Ibig sabihin, si DND lang ang nag-decide, no, na ayaw na namin, pinuputol na namin, break na tayo. Break na tayo. Break na tayo pero papasukin nila. Okay, rape. Rape. Dahil yung isang party lang ang may gusto. May liquid. Iced tea. Pakihinaan nga ang ating background music. Pwede na yan. Okay. So, hindrance in providing effective security, safety, and welfare of the students, faculty, and employees of UP. So that's the reasoning why it was terminated. So nakita nyo naman na dami nagprotesta. Tapos, ordinaryong mamamayan, like me, di ako taga-UP, I did not graduate from UP. It doesn't make sense. Was there any Was there any parang security breach? Safety concern? Or meron bang nagkakapatayan sa loob ng UP? Kaya mo gagawin yung desisyon na yon. Pino-point out din na nagkaka-recruitan. Yun yung malakas na tawag dito? Nirereklamo. Hindi naman daw, walang nagaganap na pag-recruit sa Communist Party na mamundok ganon at sumapi sa NPA, sa communist na NPA. Wala namang ganon daw. Sabi naman ng mga taga-UP. So, wala naman nga nababalita. So, ano yung rason? So, this is another act ng kapulisan or ng our military. Tapos nag-agree naman yung ibang branches of the military. Hey, you're supposed to protect us. Nothing's going on. Tapos you're making up stuff just to be able to what? What is the real reason for doing this? Ngayon, kung hindi man siguro conspiracy theory, pero nadidikit-dikit nyo na merong mula na naman sa ordinaryong tao lang, no? Na I don't think about these things much. Pero, yung anti-terror bill, law, kung law na siya, na a group of people will decide who will be deemed as parang terror groups. Plus, if the police deem it na someone is parang a high risk of being or is suspected of terrorist level na plans, pwede na nila yung hulihin para maiwasan naman yung pwedeng masamang mangyari pa kung wala silang gawin. So that's fine. Tapos, kailangan may mag-agree na judge na tama yung pag-iisip nila or pag-desisyon na yun, diba? So, marami na rin nagrereklamo before nung hindi pa siya law na mandadampot na lang. Ganon. So, wala masyadong safeguards for abuse. Maaabuso lang daw yon. So, ayan na nga. Kung dati, even before this law, ang dami ng balita on extrajudicial killings. Na hindi naman mapatunayan. Parang na mga pulis nga yung gumagawa, no? Pero somewhere parang na-link naman sa pulis nung nahuli naman sila. Pero karamihan, walang nangyayari sa kaso. So ngayon, may mga nababalitaan na lang tayo na sa news lang within this month. Parang I think there were a couple na um, wala namang ano, wala silang, yung pamilya walang alam na may ginagawang masama. Pero dalawang medyo bata-bata, 19 ba yun or 18 or 17, na dinampot. Tapos haka-haka daw connected sa drugs. Tapos meron namang tatlong bangkay na natagpuan sa bangin, mga members ng LGBT. So may dumampot din sa kanila weeks before. And then ayan, natagpuan na napatay. So, hindi nawawala. Nagkakaroon lang ng mga paraan para ma-justify kung sakaling magkahulihan or magkabukingan. So, siguro wala pang nangyayari ngayon or hindi nababalita, pero in case na merong mag-seek ng refuge naman na sa UP na ang mga pananaw medyo considered radical or against the government, ito yung tinatawag na red tagging. I-consider nila na komunista na agad. Ganon. Pero hindi nila mapapasok ang UP kasi nga merong accord. So ayan, tinatanggal yung mga hadlang para gawin nila yung gusto nilang gawin kung sakaling mangyari na yung gusto nilang gawin. Kung mangyaring sitwasyon kung saan ang gusto nilang gawin ay madampot yung tao kahit pa nasa UP yan. Ayun. So, it's scary. Doon nga sa issue ng yung chief of police ng Makati, na na lang unilaterally din na nag-decide na solve na yung kaso ni flight stewardess na namatay nung New Year na rape and homicide. So, nakakatakot kunwari na pumunta ng Makati kasi kung ganon yung chief, tapos siyempre the other police will fall in line with that, diba? Magde-decide na lang sila. Kahit walang basihan, wala man lang investigasyon na masusi, na they will decide na lang na kung ano yung naging sa tingin nila, yun na yun. So, ganun din sa ito sa UPDND Accord na pag-terminate, if someone decides na, this person, yung although NPA naman pala siya, di ba? Yung girl, tapos yung anak nung congresswoman ba na sumapi sa sa NPA pero napatay, tapos sinensure yung ibang militar kasi nag-selfie pa sila dun sa with the bangkay, parang so walang respeto, tapos yung pinapalabas. And then there was another, it was last year, yung sa apartment, yung isang I don't know if labor leader or something, or napatay din sa loob ng apartment niya. So, nakakatakot kasi kunwari, ordinaryong tao, mapagtripan or in-news na connected sa drugs. Wala nang laban yung pamilya. na hindi na mahirap nang maipagtanggol, 'di ba? Hindi mo naman masabi na alam mo lahat ng nangyayari sa buhay ng anak mo or ano, kunwari si ano, ah, nakakatakot na 'pag mapagtripan ka or ma-decide ng police na, "Hey, this person can be whether a fall guy or someone to ano, to put in the news cycle para lang matakpan yung ibang issues, magagawa nila." Ganon. So it's scary kasi this has happened before in the martial law era. Ito, wala na nga martial law, nangyayari pa rin. Ah, mas nakakatakot. What's happening? I don't know what's happening. And, ayan, police, yung unang PNP chief ni Duterte, after 3 years, sumikat, naging senador. Oh my God. So, siguro naman meron siyang assistants or advisors bilang isang senador, hindi lang naman siya mag-isa, di ba? Tapos I think pinag-aaral naman sila, at least yung standards ng how you do things in the Senate. And I think kunwari si Pacquiao tried to study abroad, mga either political science or government administration or something, public administration, mga ganun. I think na naman, sinusupplement naman yung you coming in to Congress or Senate by the staff that you're given and by the opportunity to study yung standards, practices, what you need to do, plus additional learning. And sana kasama doon ng use of computers. Hindi ko alam. Pero, I mean, kunwari yan, wala naman akong alam dun sa kontinente being abducted and tortured and forced to admit yung crime, murder of an American soldier. Pero, isang Google ko lang, nalaman ko na agad. Diba? So actually, yung UP-DND Accord, protection for for people in UP, 'di ba? Tapos tatanggalin nila 'yon. Tapos yung reasoning ni Lorenzana is para hindi mahinder yung ensure nila ng security safety of people in UP. So, hindi ko gets. Si Bato, hindi rin niya gets. Hindi niya gets kung bakit daw meron accord na ganun. What's so special daw about UP? Why don't, kunyari, University Mindanao has an accord, with the Department of National Defense? Baka may alam siya na nagre-recruit din sa So parang, if you know of something like that, di maglagay ka pa ng ng accord dun sa sorry, mali. So kung may alam ka na may ganong nagre-recruit, maging komunista or to be part of rebel groups, communist groups, yung sa isang eskwelahan, yun ang imbestigahan nyo, i-target nyo na paano nyo mapipigilan yun, 'di ba? Yung sa UP, ano ba? Anong meron? Anong meron na ebidensya na hindi secure, hindi safe, tapos nagre-recruit ng ng NPA or communist members? Meron ba? Come out with it, 'di ba? Puro tanong, dakdak, tapos yung mga maling gawa, gano'n, walang basihan. So, wala. Paano kayo pagkakatiwalaan? which will be the segue to the next uh, topic. Pero a little more about yung UP uh, DND. There are some senators yung from nag-graduate ng UP, ano, calling for explanation, maibalik, ma-extend to other national universities. So, para students naman will feel safe in their ano, learning journey. Kasi hindi I agree with was it the UP president who spoke in a news conference na um, yung learning sa UP in particular, hindi siya para sa isang view lang, 'di ba? Radical pa yan, conservative, liberal, Catholic, non-Catholic, lahat ng pwedeng ideas. Ganoon. Kailangan malawak ang pag-aaral. Ganyan, hindi limited to a certain point of view. So, hindi mo pwedeng gawin 'yon if yung educational institution matatakot na to branch into other lines of thinking just because the military is a threat to your getting abducted because ayaw nila ng mga ganong klaseng pag-iisip, panunulat, ganon, pag-express ng opinion. It's very hard, no? Pero itong military should be controlled by its commander-in-chief. So, sinasabi ni Harry Roque na hindi naman nag-consult kay Duterte si Lorenzana. Pero being his secretary for national defense, Duterte trusts Lorenzana. And I just don't know why I mean, yun yung reasoning niya. They have to put out something, pero it's not really doesn't justify. It doesn't make sense to me. To me. What do you think? What are your thoughts on the termination of UP-DND Accord? And I was talking about yung pagkakatiwalaan, no? Mga tao sa gobyerno. si Harry ba? Duque. Anong pangalan ni Duque? Health Secretary. Duque. Duque the Third. Francisco Duque. Na ang dami niya ng kapalpakan. Nung April 2020, pinapag-resign siya dahil ng mga senador dahil hindi nagustuhan yung response natin sa COVID nung unang pagdating dito. So, kasi noon parang nag-shoot up na agad yung ano, 'di ba? Yung cases, and it wasn't going down after a month. Tapos yung ibang Southeast Asian countries, parang may ano naman, may signs of it going down na handle nila. So, um, who ayun. So yung resolution asking Duque to resign, signed by a number of senators. Uy, including si Bato. Si Bato, si Revilla. Revilla is a senator again. Lacson, Pacquiao, Nancy Binay. Okay. Dito Lapid. Um, so, pinag-resign na siya noong April 2020. And then, nung PhilHealth na issue, kasi siya yung pinaka-executive director ba? Kaya lang busy siya dun sa busy siya sa COVID response nung pumutok yung issue ng PhilHealth. Kaya napagtuunan si president of the chairman of the board or yung president ng PhilHealth. Tapos nagawang rason ni Duque, busy kasi ako so hindi ko alam yung mga nangyayari diyan. Ganon. Ito naman si Duterte to the defense naman of sino to? Si Duque na hindi ayun. I was early this year or was it late last year? Another issue kay Duque yung he dropped the ball daw dun sa pag-procure ng Pfizer vaccine. Palapit na tayo ng palapit sa discussion sa vaccine. So, three issues in a span of about a year. Itong si Duque na to. Well, yeah, I mean, COVID naman kasi. Pero nako, si Duque, kung walang COVID, ang laki ng issue ng PhilHealth. Na issue pa rin ngayon. Na ano nang nangyayari dun sa 13 billion ba yun na nawala? Ano nang nangyayari dun sa mga officers na suspended ba yun? Have they gone abroad? Have they been enjoying the money that they got? Natatabunan na ng kung ano-ano. So, very important na let's open Twitter kasi doon ko binabase yung so sa Philippine Inquirer. So, let's open it. So, UK variant. Ang tawag dito? So, kung wala yung COVID, malaking issue yan, yung PhilHealth sa'yo, Duque. Kaya, itong Inquirer to, di ba? INQ. So, si Duque, let me just get the news item. Sabi na pagkatiwalaan naman daw ang ito na naman. Duque na naman. According to Duque, Sinovac price tag was based on Google news article. At least, alam niyang gumamit ng Google. Pero, bumibili ka ng bagay, di ba? Magne-negotiate ka. So, ginugol mo yung presyo ng gusto mong bilhin. Hindi naman to parang Shopee or Lazada na yung presyo yun na yun, di ba? You're negotiating. Tapos we have another we have another item to talk about dun sa vaccine prices. Pero going back to yung sinasabi ni Duque, just trying to find it. Hey, where is it? It's another issue. Pero vaccine na yun. That issue dapat hindi Ha? Ano ba yan? Ba't di ko makita? Um, ang point ni Duque is, pagkatiwalaan daw sila. Kasi ginagawa lang nila kung ano yung makabubuti para sa taong bayan. So, yun daw ang what's on their mind. I can't find it. Why can't I find it? Can I find Duque? Wala. Can't find it. So, let me read the quote na lang. Let me read the quote. Ayan. Ang sa akin lang po, sabi ni Duque, pagkatiwalaan naman po natin ang ating mga opisyal sa gobyerno dahil talaga naman pong ipinaglalaban ang interes ng mamamayan at interes po ng gobyerno sa ilalim po ng pamunuan ni Pangulong Duterte. Ayan. Ang sarap pakinggan, pero coming from you, embroiled in the PhilHealth scam, embroiled in the procurement of vaccines, and yung pag-handle initially ng COVID-19 pandemic dito sa Pilipinas, I'm so sorry. Respectfully, ang laking ask coming from you, Sir Duque, na parang nagmamakaawa ka ata na wag niyo naman kayong pag-isipan ng masama kasi ginagawa lang naman namin ng para sa ikabubuti ng mamamayan. Talaga? No. Parang kailangan mo ata kaming mapaniwala diyan, 'di ba? Hindi naman kayo kasi pagdududahan kung wala kayong mukhang masamang ginagawa, 'di ba? Ay, ewan ko sa nakaka-trigger si Health Secretary Francisco Duque. Ayan. Nabanggit na natin yung presyo ng vaccine. Just today, si Grace po grilled si Galvez kasi nagsinungaling daw si Galvez. Umamin na nagsinungaling. Ayan. Asan yung Saan yung news article? Ay, naka. US dollar. $1 48.085. This is the strongest the peso has been, right? Anniversary ng Mendiola Massacre. January 22 today. Ba yan? Pag hinahanap, di makita. Nakita ko yung sa isang news item, yung hinahanap ko kay Grace po, di ko naman makita. Ba yan? Ayan. Dito na yun. Malapit na. Nakita ko na sila. At wala pa rin. He hurts, ano? Ito ko na eh. Yung watch Galvez respond yes. Initially respond yes when asked by Senator Poe if he was lying to the public in his refusal to divulge the actual price of China's Sinovac vaccine. So, nung we reported it in one of our TNN videos na when netizens also researched yung price ng Sinovac, it was second to the most expensive after Moderna. Tapos, it was not as efficacious. It's not as effective. So it did not have as high an effectivity rate as the one from Moderna or Pfizer. So bakit? Parang kunwari nung meron pang CDR King, di ba? Alam mo, makakamura ka nga pero hindi naman ganun ka-epektibo. Kung yun nga, hindi mo bibilin kasi alam mong masasaya yung kahit kakarampot mong pera, parang after a week lang or a few days, sira na yung gagastos ka ng mas malaki para din sa ganong kalidad na hindi naman ganon ka-epektibo. Ayun. So, ito naman ang kambyo ng gobyerno na yung epektibo naman daw. Yung 50 or 50 something percent from results from Brazil, sila naman daw yun, di ba? Yung test naman sa Malay na people, mataas naman daw. Ayun. And then, so yun yung bawi nila dun sa effectivity. Yung sa presyo naman, hindi naman daw mahal. So, tinatanong sila, O di magkano? Diba? Pero ayaw nilang sabihin. Kasi daw it will violate yung non-disclosure agreement or NDA. So if they disclose the price or if they disclose the volume, baka bawiin, baka ma-invalidate, baka mawala. Yun. So ayaw nilang ganun. So sinasabi nila, pag ano na lang daw, pag na-sign na yung kontrata, saka na lang ipapublish. Pero I saw a post na certain countries, Southeast Asia, ganito yung presyo nung Sinovac na vaccine. Gano'n. Bakit sa Pilipinas, so nahuli na naman ba tayo? Hindi pa tayo nasa-sign? Gano'n. Or is it a delaying tactic? Na sige, sabihin ko muna na saka na namin sasabihin pag na-sign na. Pero pwede naman nilang sabihin later on na, uy, nung nag-sign kami, sabi na wag pa rin i-divulge yun, ano, kundi makakasuhan tayo. Ganun. Babawiin na, kakasuhan pa tayo. So, masalong, so, mahirap nang tumanggi doon. Ay, gastos na naman yun. So, baka mag-back off na yung, mag-back off na yung mga nagtatanong. So, in the video, si Senator Grace po asked if Galvez was lying to the public in his refusal to divulge the actual price of China's Sinovac vaccine. She said yes, pero he later corrected himself and said na
3,000 po yun. Binigyan lang po natin ng indicative. But yung actual price po, we cannot tell you to the public.
ayun.
So sinasabi ninyo na hindi talaga ninyo sinasabi sa publiko yung tunay na presyo?
Yes po, because we will be charged of the violation of the NDA, and once we are proven that we have specifically stated the exact price, the volumes or the contract can be terminated.
But Mr. Secretary, I think I'll be more insistent on this. So basically, you don't want to divulge the real price, so you're lying to the public.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, basically, you don't want to divulge the real price, so you're lying to the public. Kasi, ewan, ano na naman ba to? May mga pinag-aralan naman yung mga government officials, diba? They won't. Tapos tuma naman yan ano yun, yung sa civil service, professional, na they can't hold public office kung wala silang ganong certification. So, they must have some background. And, ewan ko ba why people just can't be honest and transparent. So, good explanation naman na you can't divulge, you cannot break yung NDA. Pero you can, pag napirmahan, you can add when you're expected to get the contract signed. And then you can divulge. You can say na you can make sure na pag na-sign, i-divulge. So parang we'll make sure that in the agreement, we are not bound to hold the truth about the price from the public once it is signed. Ganon. Tapos, why are they so insistent on Sinovac ba? Ganon. So, it reeks of something being covered up. Something is not being relayed truthfully. Ganon. So, I'm so sorry vaccine char, puro ka char. Carlito Galvez Jr. Tapos paano kayo pagkakatiwalaan? Health Secretary Duque, Vaccine Czar Carlito Galvez. Paano pagkakatiwalaan ng taong bayan ang mga ganyang tauhan ng gobyerno? Sabihin nyo na ginagawa nyo ang para sa taong bayan, hindi nyo nga masabi yung totoo. May paraan naman. Pag may mga bagay na hindi dapat malaman, may paraan para ma-explain kayo ng mabuti. 'Di ba? So, hindi ko alam kung anong dapat subject ang aralin ng mga ibang government official para matuto sila nung tamang paraan. So, if you're keeping track of US politics, so they have a new press secretary. Tas I've watched some of the parang portions of her first two press briefings, and maayos naman. I mean, yung mood dun sa press room and sa press briefing, hindi siya combative, parang nagre-relay talaga siya ng information, tapos nagtatanong yung mga reporters, tapos ina-answer niya. Pag wala siyang sagot, sabihin niya wala siyang sagot. Pag may sagot siya, sagutin niya. Tapos pag merong bagay na hindi niya masasabi, sabihin niya na hindi niya masasabi. Parang si Biden, tinanong ano yung laman ng sulat, sabi niya, in general terms, na generous naman daw yung sulat na pinadala ni Trump sa kanya, or yung iniwan na sulat ni Trump sa kanya. Although medyo, anong ibig sabihin ng generous? Meron ba lamang pera? May ipit ba na pera yon? Yaman ni Trump may ipit na pera na generous. Pero sabi ni Biden na I don't want to talk about it until I talk to him. Ayun. So, patuloy, mapapabilib ka pa kasi hindi siya chismoso. Hindi siya may talaga, mayroon siyang prinsipyo, 'di ba, na okay. Ayun. So, meron talagang pagkukulang yung mga sa gobyerno, or mali yung pagkakaintindi nila ng gawa para sa taong bayan. Kasi wala tayong nararamdaman na benepisyo Tulad na lang siya, yung mga, itong sa COVID, itong nangyari sa pandemic. Experience ko, is parang lockdown sa building, andun yung mga libro, hindi mo naman ma-prepare yung tax mo, ganon. Tapos, I had assumed wrong that it would be extended in consideration of ganyan. Tapos I have a story naman why I was late ganon in filing and in preparing. But unaccepted. You have to pay this big fine, this big penalty because you were late by a month after the extension. Ayun. And then I was at the BIR again today. Kasi I was closing yung yung business sa Mandaluyong. And so last year I had this parang routing clearance sheet na. Tapos nakikita doon yung yung mga what stuff you still need to submit, what tables you still owe, yung BIR. Tapos so nadaanan ko yon, alam yung nalaman ko yung mga kulang pa, kunwari na I missed paying yung registration fee for 2020, ganon. Tapos today, nilagyan ako ng I missed out 2019 inventory list. Ganon. So, parang dumaan na yung isang taon na naman, magpe-penalty na ako dun. Kailangan daw yun. Well, requirement na hindi naman sa akin nasabi, hindi ko alam yun. Tapos, di sana nag-appear na siya dun sa ano. Nag-appear na siya when I first had that routing clearance thing. Tapos ngayon, papagawin ako first nung ganon. Parang, what? Tapos may penalty. So, lagi na lang yung bulto ng ng paghihirap nasa mamamayan. Ganon. Wala dun sa ano. So, napaka out of touch nitong government officials who are doing their best to serve the public when they don't know what's happening. So frustrating. So frustrating. So don't beg for people to give their trust to you when you're not showing any evidence that you should be trusted. Next, nati-trigger na ako. And we're on our mark. It's ilang seconds to midnight. Okay, nakakatuwa to. Kasi, still with the vaccine. I was in a cab. And then, the cab driver was laughing a little with this news item. So you might have heard, diba? Si Duterte previously said that he'll be the first one to get the vaccine. Tapos he changed his mind. He changed his mind in one of his press conferences. Sabi niya, ihuli na lang daw sila, unahin na yung ibang tao. Ayun. And then, last week, if you remember, was it Norway? Yung senior citizens who received the Pfizer vaccine, 20 plus of them died. Ayun. Here comes Lenny Robredo. Ito yung tinatawa ni nung taxi driver. Kasi challenge daw ni Lenny Robredo na magpaturok ng Pfizer vaccine si Duterte. So Duterte, it's evident na he's weakened so much from when he was campaigning 5 years ago. Ibang-iba na. Parang uupo siya sa press conference niya, aalalayan siya, ganyan. So, and you don't see him that active. Pag nagsispeech siya, napapapuna siya ng labi niya. So, baka medyo hindered na yung ibang motor skills niya. Baka malapit na yung naglalaway siya. Dati naglalaway lang siya sa mga girls, ngayon naglalaway siya uncontrollably. Joke lang. Well, we don't want anything bad naman to happen to Duterte, pero naman, medyo obvious na nagde-deteriorate na siya. No? And so, Lenny Robredo wanting or challenging Duterte to take yung Pfizer vaccine, ngayon, allegedly kasi hindi ko nabasa yung challenge na yun ni Lenny Robredo kay Duterte. Pero if she did, knowing na nakapatay ito ng mga senior citizens, medyo bad naman yon yung pag-challenge kay Duterte to take the Pfizer vaccine. Um, ano naman, I mean, Duterte can choose whether to take a vaccine first or not. Si Duque is here again kasi i-convince niya raw na si Duterte to take the vaccine early para ma-boost yung kumpiyansa ng taong bayan to also take the vaccine. I would take it, sabi ko sa taxi driver, kung libre. Ganon. I would take it kung libre. So, Lenny, medyo bad naman to do it. Kasi parang you're wishing ill din of Duterte. He's getting there. He's getting there by himself. Nagde-deteriorate naman siya. Ayun. So, whether private or public, Duterte should decide to take the vaccine, not just to boost yung confidence ng other people to take the vaccine, but primarily because he thinks and he would be advised by his doctors that it would help prevent him getting COVID-19. I think that would be the primary reason to get the vaccine shot for your health. Ngayon, kung i-advise naman ng doctors na kunwari yung Pfizer, wag yan kasi medyo risky because until we find out more about yung results na investigation nila, take something else take another vaccine na has proven more effective for people of a certain age, yung above 60, above 65 years old. So, maybe take that. And Lenny Robredo should also take the vaccine when it's available. If she's not 65 years and above, if she's not senior citizen, she could try Pfizer or any other vaccine. You shouldn't be challenging, I think, my opinion, you shouldn't be challenging the president to do something if you can't do it yourself. In corporate, before parang kunwari, your team lead and the next level is assistant manager, or kunwari, you're level 4 and then the next level is level 5, you always try to do yung stuff or be responsible for stuff na pang next level na. So, if you're going to challenge the president to do something, you should be able to do, as vice president, second in command, you should be able to do it also. So, put your money where your mouth is. I like Lenny Robredo because he's doing stuff. He's being active, siguro na titira lang siya ng mga Duterte supporters kasi namumukhang epal, ganon, or pinapamukha nilang epal si Lenny Robredo kasi she's trying to parang step on Duterte shoes, pero just let her do what good she can, which is our motto, principle na basta gawa ka lang na mabuti. Ganun. It should be able to speak for itself. Sana. Ideally. Pero dito sa Pilipinas, medyo marami pa rin dito sa atin ang money speaks for itself. Popularity is power. It speaks for itself. Yung good deeds parang needs to be pushed. Nagmumukha tuloy epal. Pero there are there are bright spots in Philippine politics. Sana magtuloy-tuloy, sana dumami. Dadamihan kung lalabas at hindi matatakot magsilbi sa bayan. Yeah. So I think that's ang heavy ng mga topics. There was a comment last week na parang puro negative yung news. I can't help it. Wala. So, before we go into a non-political news item, let's just go into another political item about Chacha. Charter change, constitutional change. I have not read someone from Bicol, speaking of Lenny Robredo, um, a representative from, is that Bicol ako? Let's try to find it. I shall take a sip of my iced tea. Within the hour, news reports of 16 additional UK variant cases in the Philippines, including 12 cases in Bontoc Mountain Province. Paano nakarating doon? Ingat kayo, ingat kayo. Very sad. I had a friend who died last Sunday. He had respiratory and heart failure, and then he was not then. I heard that he was diagnosed with COVID the Thursday prior. So, ang bilis. Well, parang he was kind of prone to he was not the healthiest person. Pero ang bilis pa din. And it really, hits you harder when you know the person who died, and medyo nakahalubilo mo siya before, pre-pandemic. So, oh my God. He was part of 69 He was one of parang pinch hitter hosts. I invited him to um, a bit I mean give his opinion on one or two episodes. I forgot. So rest in peace to my friend, and to everyone. Please mag-ingat pa din. There's a new variant, and then after the holidays, there were days na lumagpas ng 2,000 yung cases. And then yesterday, I think mga 1,800 na naman, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know the number today. Pero hindi na naman siya as accurate as we want it to be, because every time when I tune into the news and nagre-report sila, laging may parang kadikit na 4 or 3 of the ano yun, not clinics pero the places from where they get the numbers from, hindi nag-report ng kanilang cases. So how will you be able to tell yung accurate daily count, 'di ba? Hindi naman sila nagbibigay ng plus minus 500. Dapat alam na nila yon, di ba? By this time. Kasi ang tagal ng ganun ang nangyayari na hindi 100% ang nagre-report. So parang either delay it by a day parang push the results na we will report today's wag niyong kunin yung numbers kung hindi niyo makukuha ng kompleto by 4 o'clock to be able to report dun sa news. Parang i-report kinabukasan kung ano yung results for the previous day. That would be, well, in my opinion, ewan ko kung how they decided on that they will have a cut-off. Kasi, magka-cut off kayo at sabihin nyo, there are 4 hospitals or 5 hospitals who did not report their testing results or yung cases. Puro ako, what was I looking for? Si Chacha, si Charter Change. I wanna read it kasi it doesn't make sense yung parang shouldn't you be writing it better? Yum, 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 yum. Oh, for a couple of days, medyo magaan daw yung traffic sa EDSA after they opened yung Skyway 3. So, good job. So, that's something positive. Sana tuloy-tuloy. Di ba to? I saw it kanina. When I was not looking for it. CEO of Sinopharm distributor disowns exec in radio interview. Oh no. Yung SSS wants to raise the fee kasi kung hindi daw parang mawawala na yung pera, yung pondo. Pero wala namang pambayad kasi yung tao na. So paano 'yan? Where? Voltes 5 is coming. Yung Legacy. So, hindi siya cartoon. Although, there are portions na animated and the teaser looks good. Wary lang yung wary lang ang ibang netizens saying na baka it'll go the way of other soap operas na may mga kung ano-anong plot na na hindi ka panipaniwala. Pang Pilipino, di ba? Wala naman siguro yung batuhan ng balot or batuhan ng pandesal or something. Ay, ang ganda naman ito. Sino to? Claire Castro. Congratulations to Lito Adiwang sa 1. He beat Japan's Namiki Kawahara. That's another good news. Pinoy Pride! Statistics. And abroad to. COVID abroad. I will find it. Can't find it. Nag-release sila ng commemorative na 5,000 peso bill featuring Lapu-Lapu. Ito. Okay. So, quote, when you speak of the timing, it is the right time. I always say it's always the right time to do the right thing, and this is the right thing to do. Ako Bicol Representative Alfredo Garbin Jr. on the House's move to tackle Chacha during the pandemic. So, yung news item title is Solon Defense Timing of House Chacha Talks. It's the right time to do. So, I'm just repeating myself. So, we've also discussed this before. What I would do if I were president in 2022, vote for me. um, gosh, ako Bicol, ano ba yan? The business sector daw for one has doubted the timing of House actions to amend the 1987 Constitution. Uh, Trade Chief Ramon Lopez, meanwhile, thinks there might not be enough time for Chacha. Pero, ayan na naman. Para kanino, sabihin nyo na naman para sa taong bayan ang ginagawa nyo. Gusto ba ng taong bayan? Why don't you put it in a referendum? Have them decide, have us decide if we want charter change. Hindi natin alam lahat yung constitution eh. It's being taught in school, in university. I don't know how much of it is being taught now, unless you're going into pre-law or law, diba? Otherwise, do we really know yung constitution? Have we had enough time to absorb it? New generation of millennials, have they had enough time? I mean, pag charter change kasi parang overhaul, 'di ba? Parang we have good laws naman, yung implementation lang. Uh, so that's care of executive branch. Interpretation of it, care of the judicial branch. And then if there is need for any amendments and additional na laws or guidelines to existing laws or clarification to existing laws. That's the job of the legislative. So I think there's enough to go. There's enough good to use and to go with. Not necessarily have a charter change. Parang kayo-kayo na naman ang nag-decide for us. 'Di ba? Ang push na yung most recent big push on the charter change was to change into a federal system of government. Yan. So, what for? Ayusin nyo kaya yung yung implementation ng anti-dynasty, gano'n. Ayusin nyo yung implementation ng requirements to hold public office, gano'n. Ayusin nyo. Kasi, kung mag-change kayo ng constitution, tapos ang ilalagay nyo pa rin dyan, almost the same laws, na pangit pa rin ng pag-implement, so problema pa rin ng executive. So ang problema niyan, kailangan magboto tayo ng mga magagaling talaga na tao. Mag-aano kayo ng i-issue niyo yung paraan ng pagboboto, di ayusin niyo yung law para ma-secure natin yung elections natin. Doesn't need a charter change. And if you feel strongly, passionately about changing our constitution or changing our form of government para gayahin ang US, for example, lay it down kung anong mga rason nyo. Give us enough reason to believe you. Again, to trust you with with our future. Kasi if you cannot make good pieces of legislation, how can we trust you to make a whole constitution? A whole new constitution. So, ako Bicol, Representative Alfredo Garbin Jr. I don't know if you're a lawyer. I'm not a lawyer. It is the right time to do the right thing. When you speak of the timing, it is the right time. I always say it's always the right time to do the right thing, and this is the right thing to do. Why is it the right thing to do? That's the question. Representative Garbin, why is it the right thing to do? Give me 3 reasons. Outline why it's the right thing to do. Kunwari magsabi ka, number 1, ganito. What's in the current constitution, what do we have? And why is it broken? And why would the change that you're proposing, how would it fix it? It's not our laws that are broken. I think it's the lawmakers. That's a joke. Corny joke there. Ayun. So, what do you think? Do we need a charter change? Do we need to change our constitution? Do you want to be, you want to divide the country into states? Parang may mga governors controlling different portions. Like, maybe there will be an NCR governor. Meron ng Bangsamoro, di ba? They have their own local legislative. Parang siyang small congress din, di ba? I don't know. Mindanao, Bangsamoro, tapos Luzon, Northern Luzon, then NCR, including Metro Manila. Ano yun? So parang there will be several governors, there will be local legislative bodies. As meron pa ring national, di ba? So magkakaroon ng oh my God. So magkakaroon, you're putting in an extra layer. So parang, aside, sakit ng ulo. Ang nakikita ko, it's an extra layer. An extra layer of possible corruption. Why not fix muna if we have, kunwari, the national level ngayon, tapos meron mga provincial governors, as may mayors, di ba? Tapos meron din man silang mga local councils, di ba? Who make yung rules. So, national, provincial, city, local, tapos ibang local. parang marami na nga yun eh. Tapos nadagdagan mo pa ng isa pang layer. Kasi syempre, yung state, meron ding meron ding mga parts doon, di ba? Na kailangan mo ng head. It can be called another governor or another mayor, pero I don't see, is it parang consolidating? Is it really another layer like I'm thinking it is? Or is it consolidating? Parang wala nang ibang, kunwari yung Batangas, wala nang governor ng Batangas. It'll just be a governor ng Batangas, Laguna, Cavite. Tapos may mayor na lang ng Batangas. Ganun ba? It really looks like it's an added layer. And dahil may added layer, it can be additional tax. Na naman? Kasi sa, sa US may federal tax, state tax, local tax. Ayan. Ngayon, kunwari magbe-business ako, may local tax, tapos may national tax, yung sa BIR. So, kunwari part ka ng state, magsa-state tax ka na din. Tapos, ano yun? Saan ko? Oh my God. So, kunwari, oh my God, I can't. So, kunwari pupunta ako sa City Hall. Oh my God, may kwento ako sa City Hall ng Mandaluyong. Kunwari pupunta ka, so, kumukuha na nga sila ng fees. Tapos sa kanilang portion ng tax. So, kuha pa rin sila ng additional pa para sa state. Kasi obviously, kailangan din ng pondo ng state, di ba? So talaga pampahirap. Maganda naman yung gobyerno natin. Kailangan lang ng improvements na unang-una na dapat improve yung serbisyo ng public officials. Tama ba? Can I get an applause? Yes! Ayusin nyo kasi, natitrigger na ako. Ayusin nyo ang trabaho nyo. And we won't need to make these drastic changes. And like I said in one of our videos before, if I'm going to be president, vote for me. Next year. See you in the polls. Kailangan ko ng, saan ko ba ito nabili? Kailangan ko ng maraming ganito kasi magiging uniforme ko para isa lang ang laging suot ko. If I were going to be president, I will put in the ballot at least 2 elections from now. Tapos have the people who are for or against it promote it. Or pagdating ng a certain election, 2 or 3 elections from now, maybe 2 elections from now, people will know that there will be a vote on this. Do you want to change our constitution? Tapos, you'll give time din, 2 or 3 election cycles, to prepare. So, kunwari, after another 2 elections later, isasama naman sa balota yung people who will form yung Constitutional Commission who will change para there will be no opportunity for the current administration to influence the decision to make the change or to influence the people who will be involved in the changing. Ganon. So I think that's the most reasonable thing to do to determine if the people want a change and to make sure that the people who are going to change the constitution will not, parang you will erase any doubt of impropriety or pwede sila mag-benefit from the changes that they are going to make. So that's my policy on charter change. Tapos, paki-explain nga, and I don't love you. Ano, Representative Garbin, how is it the right thing to do? I already asked it na pala kanina. Nakaka-trigger lang talaga eh. How can you say it's the right thing to do? And it's the right time? Ano ba? Kailangan mo na bang may anak ka na bang of age na kailangan mong pagpasahan ng ng ako Bicol representative. Party list ba to? I will ewan. I will not help promote this person or party list. Parang why? I'll try to read more on kung ano mga nagawa na ni Representative Garbin. I haven't heard of him before. Is he a new congressman? Is he a replacement? Ay, nako. So, kwento ko sa Mandaluyong. So I went to I didn't get to put my picture graphic for this kwento. Story time. So Monday, I think Monday, I went to the city hall. I wanted to process yung closure of my business in Mandaluyong. So I went. And I went very early, before 8. And there was already a line. I think I was the 9th person. Pero there were rows kasi. So parang 5 chairs. So they sectioned off yung mga renewals and permits and versus yung mga other items like getting your cedula or kung ano pa. Amilyar, so that's property tax. So I was in the line for the business renewals, and I was 9th to arrive, and I didn't know if probably they didn't have people come in yet from our section because it was very early. We don't know if there were already people who were going to make the assessments and process our stuff inside. So so this guy who like runs this number of people from this section come in or line up here in front, and you'll go in. Then this number of people from this side stand up and then come in. So on the first day that I went, he went by rows. It's the 22nd, so I went I think the 18th or 19th. Maybe 19th. Yeah. Maybe Tuesday. And ordinarily, the deadline for when your form should be dated or when you're assessed is the 20th of January. But pandemic, so pinush naman nila. Anyway, I went the day before the 20th, 19th. So, 19th nga. 19th. So, he went by rows. This guy who was parang orchestrating yung entrance. So this row, stand up, line up here, and then you can go in. Ganyan. So that's what he did. So I was able to get in pretty quickly. No. So kunwari I arrived mga 7:55 a.m. Yeah. Then I was in 15 minutes, I think. Yeah. So I was able to finish what I needed to do or needed to get, but I needed to go back another day. I still need to go back. Um, ano yun? Um, so mabilis lang. So I was very hopeful the next time na ganun din ang mangyayari. Well, no, it did not happen the same way. I went back Thursday, so 2 days after. So I arrived just under 8 a.m. I think I took a seat 8 a.m. And then last time there were two rows. This time I was on the fourth row na. Yeah, so there were more people who came, and it got quickly filled up. So I don't know if it was the timing, but the guy announced again that the renewal is extended to the end of the month. So, and pwede na online yung ibang stuff na gawin. So, uh, but what's different this time was, so if you're from Mandaluyong and if you're trying to uh, renew your business permit yourself and you're going to the city hall, so you have to go to the back of the executive building. That's where the lines are, and then so you enter through the back, and you exit through the front. And this time, Thursday, it was such a mess. So, I sat dun sa fourth row. Tapos, there was at least one vacant seat in front of the first person, mga two rows. I mean, two seats down from me. And then, I was thinking, maybe nag-CR lang, ganun. Um, or nagpa-Xerox, or may ginawa lang. Pero, siguro after mga 10 minutes pa, may dumating na it was a girl. And she asked kung mayroon ako po dun sa pinakamalapit dun sa row in front of us. Sabi wala. So, umupo siya doon. So, parang I was thinking, dapat kung vacant yung mga gano'n, the girl furthest from me on the same row should be coming in and taking that seat, diba? Pero, wala. Parang dead mo yung bagong dating na hindi mo lang nagtanong na, is there a line? Ganon, na where should I go to sit down? And me being my timid, accepting self, parang, it's just one person. And, naman, parang it's just one row. No. Pero this is where it got ugly. So, the guy who orchestrates yung entry is still the same guy that day. So, went to our section sa business permit, and we would ask, sino ang payment? Payment na lang. Hindi assessment. Payment. So, some people raise their hands, pero people in different rows. Tapos he pointed out to them. So, several seats in different rows were vacated or became vacant, and people just skip their rows and just went for it. Yung mga vacated na seats. Parang kamot ulo. What's happening? Tapos, It happened again, pero nagsalita naman ako kahit papaano. Sabi ko, the girl dun sa furthest from me, same row, parang you should take this vacant seat here, ganon. Kasi hindi na nasusunod yung pila, ganon. Pero she didn't, either she didn't hear me or she didn't follow uh, what I said. Nauna tuloy siya. Someone else took it from, I forgot ko if it's the same row where we were at or just the row behind us. Tapos noon, I mean, I would I did not want that to happen to me again. So, my bad. Kasi the next time na nangyari yun, ano na, I mean, kung ganun din naman pala, if there was no organization to it, then I would try to get the vacant seat in front of me, or near me, nearest me. So I did that. I think mga twice, and yeah. Tapos I was in the first row na waiting. Tapos I was talaga inaabangan ko kasi I was on the fifth seat sa first row. So, kung sakaling magtawag siya ng apat lang, tapos ako yung hindi makakapasok, I don't want people from the second row or third row to come in and get the seats na i-vacate ng first four. I was thinking, I need to be ready to race to the front of the line sa first two seats ng first row. Kasi kung hindi, baka kunin ng ibang tao, ganun na naman. Tapos kunwari magtawag apat lang or tatlo lang, parang walang mangyayari sa akin. So, I was in that line that day, Thursday, at least an hour. Maybe a little over an hour. Pero, hindi siya unacceptable. Pero nakita ko naman nakita ko why the guy called it differently that day. Kasi, yung assessors, parang puno na yung line nila. Yung mga payments naman, parang yun yung na umaandar yung pila. Kaya there were seats for yung payment. Pero, so, my suggestion is, kung hiwalay yung section sa loob, hiwalay na rin dapat yung section sa labas, 'di ba? Huwag niyong pag-isahin. Kasi kung ganoon, parang kung magtatawag kayo row by row, tapos maghihiwalay sa loob, tapos pwedeng one section sa loob puno pa, magtatayo 'yon, 'di ba? Tapos kung gano'n naman yung gagawin mo na magtatawag ka, kung ano yung bakante sa loob, parang ang gulo kasi walang pila na nasusunod. So, hinati na lang nila yung section, di ba? Damihan nila yung upuan for assessment, tapos meron isang pila for payment, maayos. So, naisip ko na yon that day, within the hour na I've been experiencing it. Parang he's been doing that. I don't know, was he doing it that way? No, it wasn't done that way last year. Since the beginning of January. Hindi nyo ba naisip yun? Ganon? Isip-isip din. Diba? Ewan. Pero, ayun, that's my experience in Mandaluyong City Hall. Oh, so ito pa. So, my business has not operated since March last year. Um, and then I don't really go out. I don't I don't go to the store every day. First of all, the building admin is very strict. Up to middle of December, I couldn't go in kasi they were asking me for RT-PCR test, antigen test, uh, even customers. How really? I don't know who decided this, pero will you really expect customers to take antigen tests? How much do antigen tests cost? Over 2,000 pesos. Customers who may or may not buy anything, who might buy something worth 100, 200, 300 pesos. Sabihin pa natin 1,000 pesos. And then you expect them to present an antigen test worth at least 2,000 pesos. Sino nag-isip nun? Workers, one-day workers, they're asking for antigen test. I understand yung safety concern of COVID. Yes. Workers, sabihin na natin si maglilinis ng aircon. Kasi matagal nang hindi nag-operate yung aircon. Or someone who will pull out stuff, which I'm doing. Lipat bahay. Trucks, Transportify. Sabihin na natin charge nila is 3,000 for 2 people na lang, including the driver, to carry big stuff, load it in the truck, unload it somewhere else. Sabihin pa natin 5,000. 5,000. Maghihirap ka ng ganon. Tapos kailangan mong kumuha ng antigen test that will last for 3 to 5 days. Tapos kukuha ka ng job na will pay 5,000 pesos. Kinita mo. For a day, 1,000 pesos. Wala pa yung gas doon. Yung hirap, pagod mo. It's not worth it. Sino nag-isip nun? That should be a segment. Sino nag-isip nun? So I mentioned yung closing because isa na naman to sa sino nag-isip nun. So, wasn't able to really operate. And then, I decided nung December to, I can't anymore, so just close the Mandaluyong business. So, I went to Mandaluyong City Hall, aiming to not renew and close. You know what they tell me? Na I have to renew it first before I retire the business. Kasi if I wanted to close it, I should have closed it nung December. Yun ang policy nila. I'll just have to follow. Pero sino nag-isip nun? I mean, in this, siguro in normal situation, pwede pa. Pero it's just like the BIR. Na parang wala na nga. Maliit lang na company. Maliit lang na business. Wala na nga. na hindi na nga napatawad ng napakalaking renta, wala na ngang sales, pipinalize mo pa. Tapos ito pa, hindi na nga nag-operate, tapos paparenewin mo pa to be able to retire the business. Paparenewin mo first month of the year, knowing that i-close na rin naman. So, papabayarin mo for the whole year. So, yan. How does that earn people's trust in you that you're after their best interest? Isa lang yan. Pera. Justify na you need the money to be able to support yung taong bayan, yung public. We don't feel it, we don't see it. Look where the poverty line is. Local governments, are you helping? Why don't you show yung statistics of yung poverty statistics sa cities nyo if it has decreased? Kung gumanda-ganda naman ang buhay ng mga tao. Kung lumago-lago naman yung mga negosyo. Kasi, ang lumalago lang, yung treasury nyo. Nakakapagpasweldo kayo ng tao, nakakapagpatayo kayo ng kung ano-anong building na proyekto para maipakita na meron kayong nagawa. Yun ang basihan ng nagawa nyo. Structures. Libre ba yon? Libre ba? Or paparentahan nyo rin sa taong bayan para gumamit? May fee pa rin para makapasok at makapanood ng kung anong event dun sa Coliseum nyo. So, national level, local level, other offices, BIR, alam nyo, kunwari sa BIR, no? Kung tumulong kayo para palaguin ang negosyo at tulungan na umasenso ang mga tao, it will result in more taxes getting collected. If a person is earning, kunwari 100 pesos, ang sakit sa loob na matanggalan yon ng, it's an extreme example pero example lang, average 30% na tax ng 30 pesos dun sa 100 out of each 100. Kung ang negosyo mo maliit lang naman yung yung kunwari 500 yung gross, pero yung income mo 100, tapos ang tax mo is 50 pesos or kahit pa 30, masakit pa rin yun sa loob. So you're really not helping. I would assume, I am hoping na kunwari kumikita naman ng malaki-laki ang isang negosyo, ang isang tao, mas maluwag-luwag naman sa loob nila ang magbigay din sa gobyerno. Lalo pat nakita nila na maganda naman ang serbisyo na binibigay. Diba? So, napangungunahan ng greedy Jollibee. Pera na naman. Pera-pera lang. Ganun pa talaga tayo. No. Kailangan lang talaga na meron magsimula eh. Pero nakakatakot na kung sino man yung magsimula nun, kunwari ako, biglang mapatay na lang. It's a risk. So, um, if you really want to serve the country, if you really wanna do good for the country, parang you'll have to think about the possibility of getting killed. So, um, you should be able to do a lot of good in a short period of time, because anytime opponents can and ill wishers can harm you or your family, so ikaw na lang kasi yung pamilya mo, pero still nakakasayang na if there's always a threat to your life just because you're trying to do good for the country. Katulad niyan, if I was going to revamp yung um, if I was going to push for legislation that would help yung people doing small businesses, um, that might result in it might result in less collections for the local government or even for the national government. Pero it's hopefully hindi naman siya ma-abuse, and it will result in more revenue later on. Especially in this time, no, na, na tiis-tiis lahat. Parang ang nagtitiis lang yung mga nagtitiis na before. So, bakit ganon? So, it's not fair and it's not right. So, those are the things that need to be changed. Not our laws, maybe add new ones, new better ones, and implement the current ones well. That's what the right time is. The right time, what we need to change is yung mentality of people in public service na you're not doing good by the people now if you see the people suffering. So change that instead of changing the constitution. Kasi kung mga buhaya pa rin at corrupt yung mga nandyan, kahit pa yan ang pinakamagandang constitution, wala pa rin. So para naman sa ating mga mamamayan at mga botante, like I said in my previous video, so we need to be aware. We need to keep the conversations going. Conversations like what we're doing. So thank you for watching Pake News Now and taking calls. We'll see you again next Friday, or you can watch a video naman anytime or listen to it while you're during commute. Mahaba-haba ring kwentuhan to 2 hours of me talking. It's past 1 na. So I really appreciate you joining me and going through a slew of topics. And ayun, leave your comment and your thoughts and your opinions below, or just be aware, keep conversations going, and make sure to either you yourself, if you think that you can be a good leader for our country, whether in a small area or in a bigger role, there are ways for you to join naman the government. So, ayun, we need honest and good leaders for our country. Otherwise, make sure that you're registered to vote for next year and vote. So, those, ano pa naman tayo, every 3-6 years, nagkakaroon ng election. So, make sure that you're registered and you vote, because those are the times that we can affect change that we want. So, nagkakaroon na naman, may magaganda, may mga mabubuti naman tayong leaders na nakikita. We need more of those. more of those in the cabinet. Siyempre, yung executive branch mismo and our legislators. And Diyos ko naman, yung mga judges natin, pinapatay na lang. Ano ba yan? Besides our journalists and mga ordinary people na ina-abduct kung ano nung pinagbibintang sa kanila, pati yung mga judges natin pinagpapapatay, ano ba yan? So, ewan ko ba. So, yung mga militar, you're serving the people. You should not be threatening the people. And to our government, please, really have our best interest in your hearts and minds, especially about the vaccine. Huwag niyo nang pagkakitaan ang uh, health ng mga Pilipino. So yes, so we can do it next year. Again, I cannot reiterate it enough. I will keep on mentioning it. Register and vote. Vote wisely, and if you want to serve, don't be afraid. Do it. Hindi ko nawalan ako. Dry up yung throat ko. Pero sinasabi ko yun, tapos ako I can't. I don't know. I want to, pero I really, really want to. That's my frustration. Wish, dream, pero I don't know. Maybe someone will hear me and heed my words to not be afraid and just go for it. Pero right now, although I really want to, I don't know if I can. Ayun. So, good luck to anyone who really has the best interests of our country in their mind when they want to. Kasi right now, we don't have, I don't think we have enough good candidates for our Senate. Look at our senators. And yung our choices for president. I don't know. I don't see anyone who's viable. So please, choose wisely, register, and vote. Overtime na tayo. But again, thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Leave your comments down below. Hit the notification bell. And I'll see you next Friday for another taking calls before we shift to another time slot, another day and time. I've been enjoying just talking. Me, kahit wala akong kausap. Maybe in the future, we'll have one or two people